Hi everyone. Basically, I've been getting a few emails from people asking me to give my anorexia story. It's been very difficult for me to come and do this, and it's taken me a few days to gather myself to do this. But I feel like it may be good for me, and if it's helpful to you, then of course I will do it. My anorexia story, as you call it, began when I was 8 years old, and you'll see that a running theme throughout my experience of anorexia and bulimia. Men has been a big theme. Sorry guys. Basically, when I was 8 years old, my parents divorced, and this sort of threw my world upside down because I love my dad and my brother very dearly, and my dad left, and then a few months later my brother left to move in with him. My mum sort of had a mental breakdown, so I looked after her, and I just stopped eating really. I completely stopped. I lived off enteral drinks for a very, very long time. I had outpatient care, and I was too weak most days to go to school or too depressed. And when I was at school, I was extremely bullied for being skeletal. My nickname was Skeleton Girl. I wasn't allowed to do sports day or go outside during playtime because I thought I'd get pneumonia, or that I had no idea if I fell. I was just too weak. It was just too much of a risk. So no one wanted to be my friend or play with me. I was seen as like a monster, this skeleton, which I think scared a lot of children, and it was very, very isolating and a horrible childhood experience for me. And the reason I think I began eating again was because they threatened me with hospital. And I couldn't face to leave my mum on her own because it was very much me and her, and we both depended on each other. So I began eating again. So my anorexia nearly got solved. So it sort of stayed with me, and I lived with it and dealt with it every day. It was always there, always present. And then when I was 13, I had bad sexual experience with a man. I was sexually abused by a stranger when I was 13. And this sort of made me relapse quite a lot. This is when my bulimia started as well. Basically, you'd think that experience would have made me fearful of men and not want to have anything to do with them, but it did quite the opposite. It made me feel like I was just a sexual object, and that was my only purpose and point in life was to please men and let them abuse me. I was completely submissive towards them, and I had sex very young thereon, and didn't treat myself rightly because I didn't think I was worthy of it. So this really triggered my eating disorder, and it was very turbulent till the period I went to uni. And there's those times when it was moderate, slightly severe, dealt with it. I managed to always pull myself together. I guess because I've lived with it for quite a while, I knew the signs. I knew how to hold myself back and not let it get severe. I always stayed at a low BMI, but not severe. Anyway, I then went to uni, and then I got into another relationship with a man which was extremely physically and sexually violent. It was an awful relationship. I won't even voice the things that he did to me and made me do. It was something out of a horror film, really, and I should have called the police, and I was in a very dangerous place, but obviously I didn't value myself. I thought that I was doing the right thing. I thought this is what everyone would do, but that this is what I was. And then I majorly relapsed once I slept with him. I guess I was so afraid in my subconscious of this sexual abuse and sexual torture I put myself through, and the thought that men will always leave me unless I do something. I guess it all goes all the way back to when my dad and my brother left. And I guess I just wanted to make myself sexually unattractive, and also get some control and stability in my life. So I clocked all this in. I hadn't spoken about any of these experiences really until last year, and I kept it in for so long. I guess it had to express itself some way, and that was through food. I was very restrictive, and I'd go through weeks of not eating, and then suddenly I'd binge and purge for a few weeks. It was very repetitive, a big cycle. And so once I got home, I was immediately put into daycare treatment, where I'd go 9 to 5 to an eating disorder unit. This didn't help me, purely because I wasn't ready. I didn't want to recover. I wanted to lose weight more. I was still in my eating disorder mindset. I did not want to recover, not at all. So I just worked off the food that I ate there when I was at home, and then I'd go there in the day. Anyway, I went back to uni still with a very severe BMI, and I carried on and relapsed further and further and further until I got extremely severe and I was put into inpatient care. Inpatient care was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. No, it did not work for me, but I met amazing people. I learned that I wasn't a freak, that the things that I did, a lot of other people did, and it got me, because I've lived with my eating disorder for so long, it taught me what was normal, like how to eat food properly. I didn't realise everything that I did, every single thing I did was to do with my eating disorder until they pointed it out to me. The way I ate my food, the way I ate it methodically, small cutlery, small plates, everything I chose to do, everything I chose to eat, my hobbies, everything I had chosen in my life was my eating disorder, and it sort of absolutely terrified me. I felt completely overwhelmed and smothered by my eating disorder, but I didn't realise it was everywhere. It was running through my veins in every single part of my body. It told me I liked something when I perhaps didn't like it, and I started questioning everything about myself and who I was, and I felt like I was no one. I felt like, oh my god, I've got this eating disorder and it's the only thing I am. And I got so scared of losing that because I felt it was the biggest part of me. I thought it was my personality and everything that defined me. I've always been Kate the anorexic, and I thought that's just what I'm meant to be. So I didn't want to give it up. I learned that I just didn't, and that's why inpatient care didn't work for me. But it did teach me the skills and the techniques to be able to recover, which I then enforced on my own. I never would have thought that eating at certain times and in certain places and making yourself eat in a certain way and planning every day would make a difference. But it's helped massively, and it also made me realise why I have my eating disorder, and that is because of my experiences with meth mainly, and other things like uni stress, I guess, all have. Look, there's no one big cause and effect. It's lots and lots of things. I've always been one of them people who is a perfectionist as well. So that comes into play. I've always wanted to be the best at school. If I didn't get an A, I'd be devastated, and I would punish myself through food for that. So anyway, I came out of hospital and relapsed almost immediately, and then I got thrown into hospital once more in inpatient care, and I was stupid and ran away. I told them I had inpatient care somewhere else, and I just ran. And didn't go to hospital, and I was meant to be in there for 9 months again. So it was a very stupid thing, but then also one of the best things I've done, because I wouldn't have got my PhD and MA scholarship if I hadn't have done that, even though they're stupid things that don't matter. My health is more important, but I realised suddenly, oh my god, I'm going to go into hospital the second time in a year. 3 years I've spent in and out of hospital in some way or another. And that's just until my daycare and inpatient care. I've been going in and out of hospital since I was 8. Like, I thought, is this how I'm going to live my life? And I suddenly thought, crap, I'm going into inpatient care again. And I sort of had to pull myself together, and I decided I'm going to recover on my own. I don't need them anymore. I've spoken about it to the ground. I've spoken it to death. But I know the techniques. I now know what I need to eat. I'm going to I had meal plans left over, and I used them. And here I am. So you're probably wondering why I want to recover now, and that's because I've realised my eating disorder is not me. My eating disorder is not who I am. I don't want my eating disorder anymore. I hate it. I used to love it. Not love it as in, I love it in a weird, sadistic way that I felt it was everything to me. I put it for my friends, my family. It was my #1 priority, my bestest friend, my partner. And now I just don't. I hate it. I've now realised what it's taken from me. It's drained me. It's ruined and taken away so much of my life, my childhood, my teens, the years where I'm meant to be happy, and I don't want my eating disorder anymore. I want to tell it to go. I want it to go away, and now I'm staying up and telling it to go, and I'm eating, and I'm sticking to my plans. I'm following the ways that I know that will help me recover, and this is one of them. So I really appreciate you all listening to my videos. In a nutshell, that's my story. Sum up 13 years in all 10 minutes. So it's obviously not detailed, but you get the gist of why I've been struggling with this eating disorder. So anyways, I hope it's helped you in some way, and if you have any questions or anything, let me know. And even if it just makes you think about why you've got your eating disorder, that means my video has done a job well done. So anyway, love to you all. I really give my love to all of you. Sorry I haven't been so here, really. It's purely because I've been dreading doing this video. I've been scared of doing it. So yeah, much love. See you later. Bye.